Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm not going to be here long at all. This time I can't be. I have to keep an eye on the time. Um, so I haven't really gotten much sleep, so it's probably obvious. I haven't eaten much, so I'm going to try to sit here and eat while we do this a little bit. So bear with me as I do that, because I'm just trying to, um, do what I need to do here. So I am limited on time, so let me just get started. This is a public service announcement to everybody out there that shops at these stores, that might work at these stores. You are not alone. You're not the only one. Big surprise. Again, this is all over YouTube. You can see horror stories from people that work at Walmart and stuff like that. And plenty of these chains where enough mismanagement's going on, and now in this current society where chaos and less law and order is going on, this is what's going to be happening a lot more. So let me explain why I'm here and why I'm doing this, because I have had a lot of my own complaints about this store, but I've never gotten on here to do this. Never once have I gotten on here about this store. Of all the times that I sat here and had all those problems, if you remember the times where the two employees, they couldn't even speak English, standing at the doors. They literally couldn't even speak English to understand what I'm saying. Couldn't get me a manager. Meanwhile, there's carts overflowing the lots. They're so full, they're overflowing the lots, and people have to stop and let other cars pass, and there's people walking all over the place. Somebody's going to get hit. This is the same lot where they had potholes big enough that I had to repair my car, and I had damage done to my car in this lot. This is the same store that we're talking about where I've had all these problems, and I have never once gotten on here, and I've never done this. But now we're doing it. And I say we because I'm talking about my mom. She's okay with me doing this. I've talked to her about it. And we are going forward with this. Because enough is enough. My mom works at Walmart and she's being harassed and targeted by employees and customers. People come in her line and it's very obvious they are waiting because they're in her line. They harass her. Last night she was injured on the job, and she came home, really, 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 really in pain. And this was because of another employee displaying anger. She was apparently using the bag turn thing, and this employee yanked on it, or pushed on it, causing her arms to jerk, and she now has immense back pain, and she was forced to stay there all day as they didn't do anything or didn't send her to the hospital. And this is the same store where her car blew up in the parking lot and they wouldn't show us the footage. Same store where her car was set on fire and the police wouldn't show us the footage. The store wouldn't show us the footage. Yeah, same store, and people are every day. There was a guy apparently in her line that punched her, and they didn't do anything. Yes, somebody punched my mom at Walmart while on the job, and they didn't do anything. My mom is 70-something years old. This is the same company that I have applied to multiple times. I've had my job application in for open positions for the past 7-8 months. They have never reviewed it, because you can see that. You can see if they're reviewing it or not. They have never reviewed it. And it just keeps going through the process where I have to renew it. And again, this is what we're talking about, where this is what's going on at this company, where it's very obvious why they're denying my application, because I'm going to go in there and find all these problems immediately. So, this is what's going on. Well, we're being targeted by the police. We think the police are doing this. So, this is a public service announcement. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you something else that's going on at Walmart that's disgusting and that has to do with Trump. Trump closed down all of the homeless shelters. Like, he's closing them down. So these homeless are just out doing illegal things now. So apparently all these homeless are living behind Walmart. And apparently my mom deals with this regular homeless guy who's been, like, kind of keeping his eye on her, I guess. And because Donald piece of shit Trump shut down all of these homeless shelters, all these homeless now are just hanging out doing illegal crap. And so this guy literally revealed himself to my mom. He asked for this to go to the bathroom or something like that, and apparently, like, because it was like right when like something was going on where he had to go ask somebody or something like that, and he's like yelling for help or something like that, and when she goes in, he has his pants down. So at Walmart on the cameras, this man revealed himself to my mom in Walmart. And the employees saw this, apparently looked at camera footage and didn't do anything about it. She's had things stolen from her purse, and they're not doing anything about it. They don't look at the cameras. She tries to go to a manager about things. There's no HR, and they have assigned managers. So the problem is this is all mismanaged. Walmart is literally disgusting company that literally makes it so that you have an assigned manager, so that way if you have a problem with your manager, you can't go to anybody else, and they'll tell you no, you have to go to your manager. That's called harassment. It's a conflict of interest. It means your manager's not doing anything, and the company wants to sit here and allow all these things to go on while looking the other way and playing a blind eye, because again, you're assigned managers. So conflict of interest, if your manager's trash and doesn't want to do anything, which this apparent fucking this disgusting person named Jake never does anything. I'm saying his name because fuck you, you motherfucker. If I ever see you in public, I will look you in the eyes and I will tell you you're a fucking piece of shit, because you has single-handedly never done a single thing to help my mom for anything she's reported to you, you piece of shit. So that's what's going on. And Walmart, as a company, I worked for them a while back, and I had issues where Walmart was violating OSHA, literally had OSHA violations as a regular practice. We would unload trucks and be required to walk on top of pallets flat on the floor during the regular unload process. This is a regular day thing that we just walk on pallets. You know it's an OSHA violation, right? To stand on a pallet? So they're teaching incorrect things. You go to another company somewhere else, immediately you'll be fired if your foot is even on top of a pallet. Yet every single fucking day at Walmart, we are unloading the trucks under steel where I have to duck, where if I hit my head, I would fall down on concrete. And I'm walking on top of pallets to unload these trucks. Old men, young men, like guys in their 60s and 70s doing this. And they're pressuring us to work faster. And meanwhile, every single day, the managers would take half our crew to go do other stuff in the store that they didn't want to do while they walked around staring at their phones all day. And I was doing unsafe things to try to get the truck unloaded. So after years of doing this, and managers stressing me out at the end of my shift, telling me, you're going to stay because the truck didn't get unloaded, I finally had enough, and I just left one day. Because you don't deserve anything after that. After making me on work unsafe over and over and over, they called me to come back. They begged me to come back because so many people were doing that. I was called by a manager and they begged me to come back. Please don't quit. So many people are quitting. Please. I'll probably get fired if they even know I called you. Please don't quit. And the problem is fucking worse. Years later, it's worse. They assign managers. Sounds like they need hired security, third-party security personnel at the highest volume store in the area. This is the highest volume store at the area that this is happening at, and they don't have third-party security. Yet they have third-party security personnel, men in uniform, working at another Walmart in the area that isn't even close to the same volume. And the reason is because they hire these people just based on the amount of stuff that's stolen, and not because of reported employees being literally assaulted on the clock. And old men exposing their genitalia to them. On the clock. And again, she tells people this and they don't do anything. They do nothing. They just think she's making it up. Yes, that's why you can't, that's why you don't, yeah, exactly. They're just going to fire you so they don't give you, yeah, exactly. That's the point, exactly. Yes. Anymore. Legally speaking, if all this unsafe shit is going on, that company cannot force you to come to work. She's being assaulted. Somebody's exposing themselves to her. And she comes home with an injury. And her car already exploded in their parking lot. They're already liable for that, and they won't own up to it. And now my mom's health and safety are a concern. This is a concern for anybody that has elderly, siblings, parents, whatever, whoever, what age gap you are, whoever you know. This was too big. I couldn't not say anything. And the fucking police, where this store is, the police where this store is, the whole point is after that car blew up, remember I patrolled that lot, I just went there and I saw 5 different illegal things going on. And then I tried to drive around the area looking for police and spent an hour doing it around the whole town, didn't find a single cop. And that was the day that the 911 emergency went down. Couldn't call emergency, couldn't call anybody. Yeah, conveniently. And 5 different illegal things. There were cars parked in the spaces, taking up several spaces with expired inspection tags. There was people illegally parked in front of the building, just parked there. There's plenty of parking spaces, yet there's somebody parked in a roadway in front of the building just eating their food. There's people loitering, sitting around that aren't even on break, that are just sitting there on their phones, just looking around the lot, looking really goddamn suspicious, just doing nothing. That's called loitering. They're not employees. They don't have employee. There's clearly signs for no loitering. There's gigantic trucks parked there overnight that aren't supposed to be. It's not a 24-hour establishment anymore. And then there's several cars parked in the fire lane in front of the building. So, anyway, wholly aside from all of this, the point is that, and I don't have a whole lot of time. The point is that we weren't gonna just not say anything, and this is a big concern. This is ridiculous. I mean, if you have people that you care about that work at Walmart, I'm sure you wouldn't want them treated this way. I'm sure you'd be very concerned. So, the point is, there shouldn't be homeless people hanging outside Walmart regularly interacting with employees. There shouldn't be that person that's homeless there to expose themselves to another person that works there. You shouldn't have to deal with that. Yeah, I shouldn't have to when I go to a different store have all these problems where you very clearly hire stupid, uneducated people to do these jobs, and then they can't even do them. They can't even do them. Again, you had at this other store, you had 2 employees where all I wanted to do was go in and tell somebody about the cart situation, where I couldn't even drive through the parking lot because these carts were so bad, and there's one person doing it. One. And then I walk in the store, and there's somebody leaning on a trash can. What the fuck is wrong with that person doing it? Why the fuck isn't a manager coming up front right now and telling these stupid motherfuckers that can't speak English that I just walked up to, that are clearly Walmart employees, why isn't a manager walking up to them and go outside and help with carts? Go outside and help with carts. Why are you not doing that? They're standing up front, leaning on a fucking trash can. They're employees. They're supposed to be greeting people. Or whatever the fuck they're doing, standing there, wearing their Walmart stuff, and they can't get me a manager. They have no idea what I'm saying. I say, "You don't speak English, do you?" And then they go, "No." Both of them. And then I find a CSM, a customer service manager. That's what they're called. Because she has a little thing in her ear, and she's standing at the self-checkouts. She is a manager, technically. And I say to her, "Can you help me with this cart?" I try to speak to these 2 employees. At this point, I just want to talk to a manager about this situation. Nope. She says no. She literally refuses to get me a manager. This very obvious manager refuses, and this is a young person that doesn't want to face a consequence. That's what this is. And then I am the security person that is at this lower volume store is finally the person that can hear me. And this is not a Walmart employee. This person came over, was making eye contact with me, and I made eye contact with him, made a beeline, and told him what was going on. He came outside. So the whole point was, even he could see, yeah, this guy clearly has something going on. He's got to complain to somebody about something's going on. He took a look at it. He assessed it. He didn't do much because he's a Walmart employee. He can't do anything, really. He could communicate, but it's not really his job. But yeah, it's a safety concern. And yeah, they get really backed up. And the door wasn't even open for them to push the carts easily in. I pointed that out. He's like, "That door's always..." He's like, "That's always closed." What the fuck? "Oh, so that's why your carts are..." "Oh, because the door's always closed." "Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Right, alright." So there's a problem there, and nobody's talking about it. Everybody's just going like this all day. So Walmart is a huge public safety concern because again, I actually do. I was shopping there pretty regular. I won't now. Fuck no. Hell no. There's no way. No, I will go to every other store. When I was regularly shopping there, though, I would see about half the employees either engaged in non-work activity, just stupid shit, and half the employees were. They were working. I know somebody that regularly, well, I'm not going to reveal who that person is, and used to see them regularly, and this person was always working their ass off, trying to make conversation short because they got too much fucking work to do. And it's very obvious to see that person works very hard and everybody else doesn't. You have these pallets in the middle of the floor that take up the floor space that I always run into or have some sort of traffic issue with a goddamn shopping cart. In a store where you have plenty of room, but you want to take up more floor space by advertising. So people run into this shit. You can't pull pallets down the floor. The employees just can't. It literally backlogs your entire fucking process just so that you can sell some shit in the middle of the floor. You realize how much employees could get done if you took that shit out of the middle of the fucking floor and they could actually just walk? You have any concept? No, because you're stupid. You literally don't think about it. You don't fucking care. You just care about a goddamn bottom line. You don't care how many people have to fucking put their back out or stop a goddamn pallet of water. A fucking pallet of water that they just worked super hard to pull off a fucking truck because you don't have the tools to properly unload that truck, and now I'm pulling it down your fucking valley, and there's all these customers around I have to watch out for. This pallet of water is like 2,500 fucking pounds, and then meanwhile, you got shit in the middle of the goddamn fucking valley where, oh, just because I would slightly move to the left or the right, now I'm gonna hit this thing and it's gonna go all over the floor because this 1,500 fucking pound or however the fuck heavy this thing is, I can barely fucking move. That you can barely even jack up. That's how heavy it is. You see the pallet jack struggling. You can't even stop this thing. You have to like bend your knees to stop it. Yeah, you're like leaning forward just to start walking forward. Every single person that unloads a truck deals with that every single fucking day all throughout the day. And you have all this stupid shit throughout your fucking floor that you pressure employees to unload and avoid. You. All because you want a bottom line. Just like you don't hire security to protect my mom on the job because you don't think there's enough theft at that store to hire security for that store. So you start seeing what the bullshit is going on upstairs at this company when you start putting it all together. This is why you boycott companies. This is why eventually certain people come to conclusions. They start putting it together. Yeah, I worked there. I saw what went on. And then they see it get worse. They see it get worse. They see it get worse. They don't fix it. Disgusting. Disgusting. So now my mom is injured. And they're going to do everything they can to not pay for that. Even though it happened because of an unruly customer on the clock, and they didn't do anything. They didn't immediately send her to the ER when she was in huge amounts of pain. She couldn't even lift anything anymore, yet they forced her to work the rest of her shift. Sounds like shit I dealt with. Where every day I had to get the truck done, and every day that stupid fucking pain in the ass it's the same location too. Exact same location. The ramp didn't even have a chain. I had to physically jump off the dock. I had to get the driver to pull forward, or get somebody to get them to pull forward, because there's no chain. I had to then get out, push the ramp up with my own strength, and drop it, and then walk all the way the fuck around. That's what I was starting to do. And that's where I was starting to rationalize this is unsafe. Cut myself several times. It's just like sheet metal. It's really fucking heavy sheet metal. And you're not even supposed to be doing that. It's supposed to be a chain that you just pull on. And the whole thing just comes up and goes smack. Nope. Never. They don't fix anything. They just do it unsafe. Half the pallet jacks don't work. Disgusting. And then you wonder why that same crew that was so good, that was there when I was there, you wonder why none of those people are there anymore. None of them. Literally none of them. I did some digging. None of them are there. Literally none. So, unfortunately, I'm out of time. Here. I really am. But this has been your public service announcement about Walmart, where Walmart allows people to be punched and harassed and assaulted regularly, sexually, because again, that guy revealed himself to her. Pants down and all. Yeah, so this is disgusting. This company is disgusting to allow this to go on even another second. The entire store should be ashamed of itself. And every store that conducts their business that way should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, I was going to a regular Walmart that very obviously the employees really did try, but it's very obvious that the company is the problem. They give them their free donuts and shit like that, and they figure it shuts them up. So, anyway, I really can't, I'm very limited on time. I should have left already. But again, I just remember the whole point is that enough's enough. Regular customers and stuff like that are going in and assaulting and harassing employees, and managers and companies aren't doing anything about it. And if I have to do something about it, you're not gonna like what I'm doing. You're not gonna like that. Because it's gonna look a lot like an angry mob. So you need to do something before it looks like that. Because now you're allowing people's moms to be assaulted and harassed on the clock. So, everybody at the store should be ashamed of themselves. And what a disgusting workforce of people that stand there and use an elderly person. Meanwhile, they could stand there and watch over and make sure nobody's doing that. If she's reporting those things, any one of those number of dumb fucking people that I see standing up front, those millions of people up front, every day that are in there when they're busy, that are on their phones, could be doing their jobs instead of staring at their goddamn phones. And that's the problem. You have assholes going to work doing nothing all day, and this is what's happening. So again, this has been your public service announcement about what's going on at Walmart. Okay, and this is only just the beginning. It's going to get worse. It's getting worse at all these other companies I was telling you about. It's getting worse at Walmart. Okay? So just realize that that's where we are, where Donald Trump's America, the people that vote for him, are disgusting, are anarchists that want the excuse to harass people and assault them and treat them nasty and get away with it. And so this is just only escalating. No law and order. Nobody doing anything. Just disgust. So just remember how you'd feel if it was your mom or somebody you cared about being assaulted, or some old homeless person is revealing themselves to them. Disgusting. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and stay safe out there.